So you'll probably get the recording tonight or tomorrow, depending on the time
Yay.
when I'm able to do it. How are you doing?
Good. I've been watching. You know how long we've been watching you on YouTube for a while now.
Who's we?
Well, I went with my ex-fiance, and he's like a big fan of yours. He watches you like religiously.
Oh,
But I told him that I was getting a reading from you, and he was like, "What?" We were still talking, so yeah, he was all excited.
funny. That's cool. Well, I don't have
Yeah.
a particular way that I do these personal readings. I like to leave that up to you on whether you just want me to start shuffling to see what the biggest part of your energy is, or you can give me a theme. We can ask questions. But I do want to know when your birthday is and if you know what your moon and rising signs are.
Yeah. My moon is a Pisces, and my rising sign is my Cancer. That's the ascendant. Yeah, rising.
Yeah.
And then my birthday is January 22nd,
I'm
77.
sorry, I missed that. I didn't hear that part.
January 22nd,
Okay.
77. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay, just make sure you're not covering up the microphone on the bottom of your phone.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just muffled. So January 27th,
22nd,
22nd, 19 what?
77.
Okay, cool. Now I know what generation you're from, which is mine. Basically. Do you want to ask questions?
I'm trying to figure out how to heal from my past. Like I have abandonment issues with my mom, and my mom's recently passed away, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going through a lot of emotional stuff.
Okay. So let's just see what the biggest part of your energy is. A lot of the abandonment issues, like everybody has those abandonment issues that we sort of cling on to from our past. And so it's the biggest thing is reminding yourself that you're not your past, reminding yourself that, it's not even about forgiving your mom. It's not even about forgiving like what happened with all of that, but it's just about accepting what happened and knowing that everything that she did, even if it wasn't good of what she did, but everything that she did really groomed you to who you are today. And if you don't necessarily, and see, that's where we want to go to. That's the biggest thing is if you're focusing too much on the past, then you're not focusing on yourself today. And so resetting your energy every single day and reminding yourself that today is what matters. Yesterday doesn't matter. 10 years ago doesn't matter. 40 years ago doesn't matter. But today is what actually matters because we can't do anything about what happened, right? There's nothing that can be done. And I mean, I get it. I've been through all of that too. I went through abandonment issues with my father. I was the girl with the daddy issues. But it's more, and the funny thing, the really interesting thing about that is my grandma passed away yesterday. So I'll be seeing my father. I haven't seen him in like almost 3 years.
Wow.
And I haven't spoken to him, and he's the one that texted me. Like I never hear from my dad. So I was like, oh, fantastic. So this is what I get to heal next. That's really great. But that's the thing, like I'm saying it with a smile on my face, because I'm like, yes, freedom. But that's really the thing is if we really look at the wounds and we allow ourselves to look at how everything, like just become conscious and become aware of how everything transpired to get to where you are today. And you look at all of those wounds and you find gratitude within that instead of holding on to the pain. If you accept that it had to happen, and that's not easy to do. And so being really patient with yourself and being really kind, we have a tendency, especially being the Aquarius energy that you are, you have a tendency to like hold on to things in your mind and you can drive yourself crazy like over and over and over and over and over again. So learning how to quiet your mind, that's why I like to teach the meditation and stuff, and just learning how to reset your energy to what's happening today and not going back into that past. That can be a really big thing to help you heal abandonment issues. But be kind to yourself. The things that you say in your mind probably aren't necessarily true, like all that shit that we say, like I'm not good enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not this enough, or I'm not that enough. And like, I mean, just the crap, right? It's like, and it's never ending crap storm sometimes. My partner likes to call that an ego tantrum, which is true. Like we spiral and we get into our ego. And I mean, I still even do it sometimes too. And I have to pull myself back out of it. But sometimes it's just that ego tantrum is showing us the things that we need to heal. And if we don't shove that down deep inside and we don't allow ourselves to process it, it can fester. So what I would like for you to do is to just like maybe write down on like a post-it or something and just remind yourself that, like, put it on your mirror, like today is all that matters. Or even, you know, because I guess, are you a more visual person then? Is that why I'm telling you to like put it on something that you see every day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like putting things on your mirror, like positive affirmations, saying, just things that you find about yourself that you actually like, because there's a lot of times we don't actually like things about ourselves, but we don't think about the stuff that we do like about ourselves. So reminders, mantras, positive things that can remind you on a daily basis that this is what's happening, and that stuff already happened. That stuff does not belong to us anymore, and we need to let that go. What sign is your ex's?
He's a Taurus.
Okay. So he came out, he's got some kind of air in his chart. Because he came out as the King of Swords, and that was the first. I mean, like, I'll clarify to make sure that this is him, but I'm pretty sure, because I also got the Knight of Pentacles, which is a really, really slow moving energy. Why are you guys no longer together?
Because of past lies and hurt and things that were like cheating, just a lot of different things. And now he doesn't trust me, and then just a lot of things on both parts we've done wrong.
Oh, you both have. Okay, so here's the thing. What's really interesting. Oh, this is really, really interesting. Okay. We've got another male figure here. I don't know if it's his energy still. Why?
Go ahead.
Another male energy in your life?
No, go ahead. I'm listening. Sorry.
Okay. But no, but so this male energy, or the thing with the relationship, you said that you guys are still talking to each other. Are you trying to reconcile that?
I'm trying to, but he's in the limbo of not knowing what he wants at the moment, because he wasn't working on himself, and now he's clean and sober, so he's starting to work on himself. So he's not knowing if he wants to or not. So
okay. So what I'm going to say to you is, I would like for you to stop trying to focus on reconciling a relationship with him until you reconcile the relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
That's going to be my advice. Obviously, you don't have to take it. A lot of people don't like it when I tell them to stop trying to work on a relationship, but it sounds like to me that you two were together to learn some lessons about yourself and not necessarily actually be together for the long run. The reason why he is having a hard time with wanting to reconcile is because the burden, like, he feels like he himself doesn't feel good enough for himself. Do you see what I'm saying? And when you don't feel, when you're not even in your, if you don't even feel good about who you are and you don't feel good about yourself, there's absolutely no reason for you to be trying to like fix other things in your life. And especially if he is somebody if he's an alcoholic, which I'm assuming that he is, since he's
no, he wasn't alcoholic. He's doing drugs, not alcohol.
Oh, okay. So and that's even more so. So when you're going into NA, or you're going into, or I don't know if he's even doing the narcotics and
he's in treatment.
So that one of the first things that they learn is to not have relationships. And I don't know if you know that, like, they are literally told to not have relationships. And if you want to be in, like, honestly, like, your abandonment issues, he triggers that because your expectations are, now that you're holding out hope for this and you're holding on to him, your expectations is that it's going to be reconciled. But I guarantee you, because he's not, I don't think it's going to be reconciled. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I really honestly don't think that this is the relationship you're supposed to be in. He needs time, and he needs to be able to process the stuff. And maybe down the road, after both of you have healed your own wounds, I guarantee you, though, that probably wouldn't be, because, like, once I healed myself, I don't want to go back to any of my exes. I look at my exes and I'm like, no, you're not good enough for me. Like, you refuse to do the work. But see, that's the thing, is he's doing the work. And if you don't do the work, if you don't raise your own vibration and he's raising his vibration, it's going to be even worse. And you'll feel that abandonment trigger again. And you have to remember that when other people trigger us, they're not creating that wound. That wound already existed within you. So every time he doesn't answer a text message, every time like you send him a text and you expect for him to text you back, or you call him and you expect to hear from him back and he doesn't do that, you're automatically back in that abandonment wound again. And your body doesn't know whether it's the first time you've been in that abandonment wound or if it's like the 100th time. Your body's going to react the same way every single time until you heal that. And the only way that you can heal yourself is by paying attention to yourself. Do you see what I mean? And right now, and there's the other thing that I want to tell you real quick before I show you these cards is there's a little trick that I learned when I was manifesting, and I wanted to be back together with the person who was my catalyst into my awakening, and I really wanted to be with him and really wanted to be with him. So I put a lot of focus on him. And at night, I would think about him when I was falling asleep because it would make me feel good. But I would focus on him and I would send him energy and I would send him love and like all of the things, right? We weren't talking to each other. We weren't communicating, but I would just have my focus on him and I wasn't focusing on myself. And I shit you not, really amazing, great things happened to him because I was giving him all of my power and all of my energy. And he just skyrocketed and he was just fantastic and amazing. And then here I was sitting in the shit, in the sludge, sad, unhappy, alone, not feeling really good about myself. And somebody said to me, well, what are you doing for yourself? Why are you giving all of your energy away to everybody else and you're not giving anything back to yourself? And I was like, holy shit, that's the answer right there. The more you're focusing on him, the more he's going to focus on himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a general rule of how energy works. So in saying all of that, so we have the Knight of Swords and we have the Knight of Pentacles here. And then these cards that came out, we have the King of Cups with the 10 of Wands. So the burden that he's feeling right now is very, very emotional for him. And this is a really, really long journey that he's going to be on. And he understands that it's going to be really, really overwhelming. And he doesn't need to have outside triggers or outside expectations from other people when he's trying to heal himself and get well and not be sick anymore. Because that's really what it is. It's a sickness. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. And so the reason why he can't make a decision and he's going back and forth with himself, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, is because there's a lack mentality. He doesn't even feel that 5 of Pentacles is the lack mentality. He doesn't even feel good enough for himself to do life. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's a really sad existence to be in. So I hope that he continues to focus on his well-being and focus on the things that he really needs to do for himself, because I think it's great that he's getting help. That's really fantastic. But my concern more than anything is about you, because I want you to heal also. I don't want you to give all of your power away to somebody else when that power should be pointing at you. So I'm going to ask you what it is that you're doing for yourself right now to make you feel alive, to make you feel good, to make you feel happy, to bring you joy. Are you doing anything for yourself to do any of that?
Yeah, I mean, I meditate and I read tarot actually, but and I've been actually going out of town lately just to get relaxation and to get peace, because I've been going through a lot of stress with my mom dying, and my stepdad was in 30 days, both of them. So I've been having to deal with their house selling, just a lot of things. So I've been leaving town trying to get some peace in my life.
Yeah, no, and that's really great. I'm glad that you're doing that. But that also, instead of looking at all of those things that you're having to do, instead of looking at it as stress, because I feel like you're really crunched up. Like it feels like your energy is like, if I were talking astrology, I feel like you're in a square. You know what I mean? I feel like you're like in a really harsh aspect. And then the 4 of Pentacles, like I was feeling that, and then the 4 of Pentacles came out. So it really does. And it's funny because so like going through all of the house and selling the house and having to go through the house and having to go do all those things, instead of looking at that as something stressful, like, oh my God, I can't believe that I have to do this. I want you to look at that as a healing opportunity for you, because you're literally like, it's so metaphorical. It's like you're literally going through memories and reminiscing things and looking at, their past and your past and like everything that happened, and allowing yourself to process through that instead of rush right through it and be really distracted on the other end because of all the stress, because that's what happens. We get stressed out, we get distracted, we don't come back to where we are right here. So I want you to kind of start to release some things within you. I want you to let go of some stuff. And I'm really glad that you do meditation, and I'm really glad that you're doing tarot. The key to doing meditation every single day is so that we can also have that meditative relaxation and meditative flow even when our eyes are open. So it's not about trying to transcend space and time. It's not about trying to, astral travel all the time, like mindfulness meditation, where if you're really stressed out about things and you just stop yourself in the middle of the day and take 5 minutes and close your eyes and breathe, because meditation is breath. That's all it is. That's actually what it means. So it's not about like, having the those extraterrestrial existential like experiences. It's really just about being present in your own form, in your own vessel. And I feel like that's really the kind of meditation you need. You need meditation that is going to relax you, not meditation that's just going to like take you to a far off land. Because if you're not grounded, so like more grounding meditations, more breathing meditations, find some guided meditations to help you pull your energy all the way through your chakra system, get yourself really super grounded so you can make decisions without feeling like you're super stressed out, because this feels really, really super stressed out. And I also feel like you're concerned about money right now. Oh.
Well, yeah, yes and no. As soon as this house says I get all that done, I ain't gonna be worried about money. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do career wise, and I'm trying to figure out my relationship wise. It's just a lot of shit.
Well, but so that's the thing. So what you need to do is, instead of trying to figure out the relationship, figure out yourself. Instead
Yeah,
of
I
trying to
know.
figure out the career, figure out yourself. Because when you figure out yourself, everything else starts to fall into place.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
just what my mind has been on. So yeah.
No, and I get it. And that's why I'm saying, like, let's pull your mind back. Like, let's take your mind off of all of the things that it has been on and pull you back into it. And that in itself is going to alleviate a lot of stress. I mean, I could easily be stressed out at this moment in time in my life for many reasons. Like, my car is in the shop. I have to spend $400 on a stupid window. It was like the -2-degree weather broke my window and I was pissed. I was like,
Oh no.
so yeah, it was like, I was like, man, just there's always something. Yesterday I was like, there's always something, isn't it? And so I could easily have been stressed out about that. But that was the thing, is I just kind of laughed it off and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what we're doing now. I'll go take my car to the shop and we'll see what happens. But there's definitely like it's really about having a lot of faith and a lot of trust with you. Like there's allowing yourself to not necessarily be so much in control. Somebody just dropped something off. But surrendering, like, so the Fool on the Four of Pentacles is more about surrender. There's something new that you're going to be starting soon, and you can't be in this crunched up kind of energy when this happens. I'm going to clarify to see more about what this Fool's card is, but I think the reason why it came out with the Four of Pentacles, or it came out right after the Four of Pentacles, is because you need to know that the best way that you're going to be able to manifest things in your future is if you feel free, and not feel confined and crunched up and like kind of thing. And when you're trying to control situations, more chaos will be revealed. So the Emperor with the Five of Wands, when the Emperor is the control freak, right? He's very like, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and nobody else can tell me any other way it's going to happen. And then arguments ensue and chaos ensues because relinquishing control to the universe legitimately gives you more control over your life.
I'm a control freak.
Yeah. So you need to, that is definitely, that's your Cancer rising talking, by the way. That
Oh, okay.
Cancer rising is the control freak for sure.
Oh, okay.
They have a really, cancers just in general have a really hard time letting things go. And that's probably another, I would love to take a look at your birth chart. If you've never had an astrology reading,
No,
I'm going to
really.
suggest that next for you. Like before you do
Okay.
anything else, like if you don't do anything else with your life, like to get any other readings, and a full astrology reading is definitely the next thing for you.
Okay.
Because I want to see where that control freak stuff comes from. Like I get it, I understand. I'm a Virgo. I get the control.
My mom was a Virgo.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing though, is when you're not an evolved, any sign, right? When you're not evolved in any sign, you can literally traumatize other people. And that's how like people are skewed by signs, because it's not even their sun sign that is trying to traumatize you. It's definitely something else that's going on. Usually it's not the sun sign. But this is a problem. Like every single time you try to control the way things go, every single time you don't listen to your intuition and you listen to your ego, the ego is saying, I want things because I want things. I want things to be the way they are because I want things to be the way they are. Your intuition is saying, this is the way things need to be, and you need to be patient to get there. So your intuition is going to be the one that you want to listen to, but because the reason why you're a control freak is because you want things right now. There's this instant gratification, and the universe is not instant gratification. That's not the way things work. And I guarantee you, if you stop trying to control things, you're going to be blessed way more than you thought was even possible. Like way more than you thought was even possible. But until you start recognizing that you need to let go and let things just run their course, let it be the way that it's supposed to be, instead of trying to force things to work. And every single time you try and force things to work, you get that blockage, you get that restriction, you get triggered. And then it's a spiral and you got to start all over again. You know what I mean? And it's like, why are you backtracking? Why are you like making this go backwards? So let's see what this Fool. Does that make sense to you though?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm only here to try to help. I'm not trying to. I know that it sounds like I'm lecturing people sometimes, so I have to like catch myself and make sure that I'm not like being extra lectury. Let's see, the Fool. Ooh, apparently that's the card. Okay. So you got to let go. You got to let go of the Taurus energy. You got to let go of it. Because honestly, here's the thing is if you don't trust and you don't have faith that because the funny part is that he came out on the Fool and the Four of Pentacles. But if you don't trust and you don't have faith that you need to release this and you keep holding on to this, it's going to end up it's going to get worse for you. It'll be really, really bad. And you have enough stress to deal with. You really do. You have plenty of stress to deal with. And I'm also wondering, like, I know that you said that you were unfaithful. He was like, there were things on both sides that sort of happened. And I'm wondering if maybe these gentlemen that were up here were the ones that you might have been unfaithful to. Does he know about them?
Yeah, he knows because he's been running it and saying something to me about it because he'll hear about it. And yeah, I just found out I found out one of them was actually a family member of his and I didn't know it.
Oh, that's why
yeah,
good enough.
that was a big
okay.
no, yeah.
All right. So that's why. So he feels very. It's the betrayal, right? He feels, and so, but here's the thing. Like, I mean, I don't judge anybody. I know that everybody is human, and people say and do things that they're not really thinking about at the time. But so I don't judge anybody. He is definitely. It almost feels like he's only placating you at this point. Like he's only telling you what you want to hear instead of actually having like a real honest, deep conversation or like showing his emotions in any way. I feel like he's more just telling you what you want to hear at this point. So you'll just kind of like back off of him. Do you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we're not seeing each other right now. We're barely talking. He told me he needed space, so I've been giving him space, and I've been just doing my own thing for
Yeah. And I
recently.
want you to keep doing that. I want you to understand. But see, that's the thing is like giving him space. Like, I don't want you to have an expectation when that space time is up, because that space,
Yeah.
giving him space may be forever. You know
Uh,
what I mean? But that's
yeah.
the thing is like, you can't sit there and be like, okay, well, am I going to give him space for 2 weeks or 3 weeks? You let him approach you if that's what's going to happen. You let him. So many times the women try to lead in the relationship, and that's not our role. Our role is to flow within our own energy and allow the healed masculine to lead us. But until we learn how to love ourselves completely, to flow in our own energy, that's one of the most difficult things for us to do. I lived within my own masculine energy most of my life, when my natural state is a flowing feminine energy. But I didn't understand and I didn't realize that until I started loving myself. And loving myself looked completely different than what I thought it was going to be. It was about making decisions for myself and not making decisions for other people. It was about recognizing that I couldn't focus on other people's journeys, other people's paths, other people's healing lessons. I had to focus all on mine. It wasn't just about taking the bath. It wasn't about buying the flowers. It wasn't about making myself dinner. It wasn't like, yes, all of that stuff was included. But when it came down to it, doing like the really deep healing that I needed to do was being gentle, like all of the things that I never got as a little girl, all of the love and support and acceptance and guidance that I never got as a little girl, I gave to myself. And that's the thing that you're going to have to really find within to be able to get through everything that you're going through. I think that that is the message that you probably needed to hear more than anything else today,
uh-huh.
because there's no reason to hold on to all of that pain anymore, especially because now your mom is, and even your stepdad, it changes
Uh,
when we pass away. The feelings that we have towards people change, and they don't hold on to the pain, they don't hold on to the regret, and they don't want us to do that either. But I guarantee you, when it's your time to pass, you will be greeted by them and there will be apologies said to you, and be
yeah.
like, but that is exactly what had to happen. We had to do it that way so that you could come fully into your own power. But it's your choice, right? Like, I can give you a card reading until I'm blue in the face and tell you all the things that you need to hear, but I can't make you do it,
Yeah.
you know? So you're going to have to be the one that steps up for you. Stop stepping up for other people. It's not about other people anymore. This is all about what you need, what Kara needs to do for Kara, and creating that sense of, because you've never felt safe. You never
Uh-huh.
felt comfortable, you never felt loved, you never felt safe. So you need to provide all of those things to yourself. And then once you've provided all of those things to yourself, then manifesting is going to be a breeze. You're not even going to have to try. Things will just start to happen. You'll start attracting like all sorts of beautiful blessings and all sorts of beautiful things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's look really quick and see, because I feel like once you really start to gain that clarity and inner knowledge and inner knowing, the career stuff like will literally just sort of start to flow and start to, have you ever thought about doing, because I know you said you do tarot readings, excuse me, have you ever thought of doing the social media presence?
Yeah, I thought about it and I was trying like a long, long time ago, but then I stopped and I don't know, I just stopped.
Yeah. I mean, if that's something that you enjoy and love, obviously, I'm not going to tell you like what to do. A birth chart would be able to tell you what your purpose is and what your career
Yeah.
is, because sometimes that's not the same. That's not one and the same. For me, it kind of was one and the same, but I literally had to heal myself through healing others. That was my path. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you, feeling that safety, getting that safe space within yourself, and knowing, like, even having the power and the knowing that you did it on your own. Like, I feel like that's another thing that you really need to, not for an ego sense, but just for a sense of accomplishment, for really feeling really, really good about yourself. And I want you to celebrate the small wins too. Like every time that happened to me yesterday also. We're just going to do that. So every time you find yourself at sort of like at a crossroads, and then you make a decision and that decision turns out really good and in your favor, I want you to stop and I want you to feel what that feels like. I want you to feel the celebration in you. I want you to feel that joy in you, because that's your gauge. That's the gauge of how you're supposed to be feeling every single moment of every single day, all of the time. When I tell people that I literally have joy and happiness inside of me every single second of every single day, they're like, you're an oddball. And I'm like, I'm not really an oddball. I'm just a happy person. I've just found that sense of peace within myself. So other people are going to think you're weird for wanting to have that joy and living in joy. I mean, if you think about how cynical this world is, everybody just wants us to be fucking miserable all the time. And I'm not having it. I'm not going to, I refuse to buy into that bullshit. But you need to make decisions. And being at this crossroads right now in your life is exactly where you're supposed to be. It's exactly what you're supposed to be doing, because now you get the opportunity to make a decision for yourself. Not make it like how, I don't care that anybody else is going to be happy or unhappy with whatever decision that you're trying to make in your life right now. All that matters is that it brings you joy and you're happy about the decisions that you're making. That's all that matters. And as long as you're doing it in integrity and you're not purposefully trying to hurt anybody else, and you're creating a safe space within your own energy, that's legitimately all that matters. So just remembering to come back and reset your energy every day to who you are and in the present moment, and creating that joy, I think is going to really help you let go of some things that have been bringing you some stress and pain for a long time.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad that you got a reading. I think.
Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully that this helped. I know that there weren't any specific answers in there, but I think that you probably got a message that you needed to hear. All right, my dear.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll send this reading to you later today.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.